Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Amanda. So welcome to this virtual yoga class. If you've never done anything like this before, don't worry, take it at your own pace. See how you get on. I'll be doing the class with you, so you can always just have a look at the screen if you're unsure of any posture names or any alignment cues. Please take it at your own pace. Manage your own injuries. You can take a seat or come into child's pose at any point that you need to catch your breath. So I'm going to try to do this in a similar style to how I teach my Tuesday evening classes at Embody. If you've never done one with me, this is fairly dynamic with some challenges. So by all means, give it a go, see how you get on. We're going to start seated. So any comfortable seat. If you want to have a pillow underneath you, that's totally fine. Once you're there, rest your hands on your knees and close your eyes. Start with a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Just switch your attention from whatever's been happening in your day so far, perhaps even the last few days. Bring it to your breath. Bring it to your body. Notice how you're feeling right now, where your energy is at, any emotions, sensations that are coming up. And then try to hold your attention on your breath. Perhaps beginning to set a rhythm that you can follow. So a nice simple one would be 3 counts to inhale and 3 counts to exhale. And keep that going. Inhale. Exhale. Do a few more cycles here. Last breath in. Exhale, start to blink your eyes open. Try and hold on to the steady rhythm that you've set. Make your way onto your hands and your knees, tabletop position. Spread your fingers out nice and wide, shoulders above your wrists and knees underneath your hips. Then we're going to go for a few cycles of cat and cow. So as you inhale, start to roll your chest up to the ceiling, let your lower back drop down. And exhale, going the other way, rounding up through the spine. Same again, inhale, chest up. And exhale, curving over. Let's do one more cycle of this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, just return to that neutral position. Start to walk your hands forwards, Anahatasana. Try to bring your chest down towards the mat. And then you can either rest your chin on the ground, or if that's not comfortable, just drop your forehead down. From where you are, try to push down with your hands. Slightly draw the shoulders away from the neck. And try to let the chest sink a little further down. Take one more breath here. Exhale, nice and slow. Walk your hands back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes under and start by just hovering the knees above the ground. Finding a little bit of strength through the arms. Plug down through your hands. Draw the belly button up to your spine. And then keep pushing the ground away as you send your hips up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. As always with this first down dog, just spend a few moments for yourself if you need to pedal out the feet. Maybe shake the head a few times, yes and no. Just checking any little adjustments that the body needs to make. Keep drawing your lower ribs in towards each other, engaging those abdominal muscles. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, step your right foot forwards. So it's okay if it takes you a few steps to get there. And then open that right arm up to the ceiling. So make sure that you're pushing the ground away with your left hand, keeping weight out of your wrist and shoulder. Last breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down. Step into a high plank position. So legs are nice and solid behind you. Make sure that you're not collapsing into your lower back and hips. Push the ground away, look forwards. Exhale, drop your knees to the ground. Aim to keep the body straight as you bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Inhale, slide forwards onto your belly, bring your chest up for cobra. Exhale, balasana, child's pose. Knees apart, hips to your heels. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, downward facing dog, hips up towards the ceiling. Same thing to the other side. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Once you're there, open that left arm up towards the ceiling. So try to keep a fair amount of space across the front of the chest and your upper back. Take one more breath. Exhale, place your hand down onto the ground. Step to a high plank position. So if you need to, you can drop the knees again as you lower. If you want to start to take this a little bit further, bend the elbows and lower all the way down to the ground. Slide forwards, chest up for cobra. Exhale, going straight back to downward facing dog this time. So just keep in mind those two variations from high plank. You can keep those options as we move through some more vinyasas throughout the practice. From here, just softening the legs, begin to walk forwards, as many steps as it takes to get you there. Keeping your knees bent, start to roll yourself up to stand, one vertebrae stacking on top of the other. And once you're up, make your way to your Tadasana. Feet can be together or slightly apart, find what's comfortable for you. Just try to spread your toes out, so you want to start to use them the same way that you would do the hands. Shoulders can fall away from the neck, and just find one spot straight ahead to focus your gaze on. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Inhale, exhale. As we move, try not to go faster than your breath. So use the entire length of your inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees here if you need to. Inhale, lengthen halfway, chest up. Exhale, palms down, step back to your high plank position. So either one of the two options that we did at the very beginning in our warm-up, or bend the elbows halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, slide forwards, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. If you feel like you need to keep your knees slightly bent here, that's fine. Just try to keep lifting sitting bones up to the ceiling and dropping heels down to the ground. Take another 2 breaths. One more breath in. Exhale, soften your knees, look forwards, and step your feet in between the hands. When you get there, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, big stretch as you stand. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Lengthen halfway, flat back. Exhale, step to your plank. Chaturanga, or choose one of the modified options if that gives you more strength and support. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. So just remember, instead of holding down dog, you're welcome to take child's pose instead. If you are in down dog, just allow the head to hang heavy and begin to wing your shoulder blades out to the sides. Take one more breath in. Exhale, soften your knees, step, or if you practice it, lightly hop forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. One more round of Surya A. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold, hands down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step or hop into plank. Chaturanga, or modified as you lower. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Steady breaths for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start to soften your knees. Step or lightly hop forwards. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Utkatasana, bend your knees, drop your hips, reach your arms up. And hold this first one. Try to squeeze your legs together. Press down into your toes and your heels. And then squeeze the sides of the waist in. Try to stretch the sides of the body up higher. 2 more breaths in to keep your shoulders relaxed. 1 more breath in. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forwards. Lengthen halfway, look up. Exhale, step or lightly hop back. Vinyasa of your choice. Good. From downward facing dog, we're going to do 2 continuous cycles of warriors. Step your right foot forwards in between the hands. Pivot the back heel to the ground. Inhale, warrior 1, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Chaturanga, or modified as you lower. Careful with those shoulders. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forwards. Turn your back heel down to the ground. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat, vinyasa of your choice. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Make sure you're not rushing. It's okay if you're slower than my count. Right foot forwards, again to your warrior 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, vinyasa. Final side, left foot forwards. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, chaturanga, or modified to low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You're welcome to hold your down dog, or maybe choose to drop into child's pose for 5 breaths. See if you can bring that rhythm back in case you lost it. Those of you in child's pose, come back into your downward facing dog position. We'll all meet here. And then soften your knees. Step or lightly hop forwards. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Utkatasana, bend your knees, drop your hips, arms up. Keep your legs together, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Elbows out to the sides. Then see if you can hollow out through the belly as you twist. Left elbow over the right knee. The idea is that you keep telescoping sides of the body forwards, press palms together, and then rotate sternum to thumbs. So the knees and hips shouldn't be moving around too much. Take 1 more breath. Keep your twist. Look down, and then bring your left foot up. Heel towards sitting bones. You can stay here if you're still working on your balance, or start to extend the leg out behind you. Try to hover it off the ground for 1 more breath. And then everyone step your left foot to the back of the mat. As you next breathe in, high lunge, arms lift up towards the ceiling. Exhale, open out to a warrior 2. Take a nice long stance across the mat, heels are roughly lined up. 90-degree bend in your front leg. Try to relax your shoulders and reach your arms further apart. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Next inhale, straighten that right knee. Begin to lean forwards as far as you can go. And then tilt into Trikonasana. Right hand can be by your shin or ankle. Left arm is extending up to the ceiling. So careful here not to flare your ribs open. Try to knit them down. And then slowly begin to open the chest up to the ceiling. Take one more breath in. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Look down at the ground. Shift your weight into your right foot in your right hand and start to lift the left leg up. So as soon as that left leg is off the mat, you want to kick it out behind you and then see if you can begin to rotate the chest back up towards the ceiling. If you practice any variations from here, maybe the right hand lifts away, maybe you try to catch the top leg. I'm going to stay in the first option. Take one more breath in. Exhale, land back into your warrior two. So see how smooth you can make this transition. Once you're in that warrior two, inhale, reverse, right arm up towards the ceiling. So really find that nice big extension through the right side of the waist. Careful your knee hasn't gone for too much of a wander. One more breath in. Exhale, side angle. So start with your right forearm on top of your leg. Push against it and reach that left arm forwards. The more you push against the leg, the more you can begin to spin the chest open. Option to stay here. Another option is to bring the right fingertips down onto the ground as long as you're not collapsing into the waist. Third option is to bind. Left arm behind your back, right arm underneath your thigh until you can catch a hold of your hands. And then you try to keep opening the chest up to the ceiling. Take another 2 breaths wherever you got to. One more breath. Exhale. Hands either side of your front foot. And then step your back leg all the way up to the top. So feet are hip distance apart in a forward fold. Padangustasana. Hook your first 2 fingers around your big toes. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, fold forwards. I don't mind if knees have to be slightly bent. Try to tilt your sitting bones up to the ceiling. Allow the upper body and head to hang heavy. Soft neck, soft shoulders here. Last breath. And release your grip. And then slowly stand up. So once you're up, step your left leg about halfway out behind you, pyramid stance. Right hand is against your lower back. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. And then begin to lean forwards. Pause when you're about halfway down. So really try to feel those outer hip muscles hugging in towards each other, strengthening the legs. Extend your torso a little further forwards. Breathe in. And then place your left hand onto that right chin. So you're still stretching the body forwards. And then start to spin the chest over towards the right side. Once you're there, you can have a go at lifting right arm up towards the ceiling. Revolved triangle. Shoulders away from the neck. Sitting bones pulling towards the back. Last breath in. And exhale, bring both your hands down onto the ground. Walking them a little further forward. And as you tip your weight into that right foot, the left leg is going to lift up towards the ceiling. So it doesn't matter too much how high that back leg is. Try to keep it really active. Sometimes we tend to just let it become a bit of a dead weight. So really pull it up. If you want to test your balance a little bit further, catch your bottom leg, so your right leg, with one, and eventually both hands. 2 more breaths. Last one. Replace fingertips to the ground and then land that left foot at the back of the mat into your warrior one. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, interlace fingers behind your lower back. As you take a breath in, just straighten that right leg for a moment. As you exhale, bend the right knee and fold forwards, humble warrior. Let the head drop down towards your foot. Knuckles are aiming to stretch up to the ceiling. Feel as though the heels want to slide in towards each other. Take one more breath. And exhale from here. Drop the left hand onto the mat. You can have your right hand on your hip. Setting up for side planks. You want to roll to the outside edge of that back foot. As you push the ground away, stack your right leg on top. Start to open up the body and lift that right arm to the ceiling. You have the option to drop the left knee to the ground for some extra support, to keep the leg stacked, or eventually to lift that right leg up. One more breath in. And exhale, come back towards high plank, breathe in, and then vinyasa of your choice. Inhale, slide forwards and up. Exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Try to regain control over that breath. Notice where the mind might be wandering off to. Just try to bring it back to your practice. Soften your knees, and when you're ready, step up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold forwards. Utkatasana, bend the knees, drop the hips, arms up. Hands together in prayer. So remember the setup for the first side. Squeeze your knees together, scoop up through those abdominal muscles, and then take the right elbow over the left knee. So you want to try to keep the legs together, don't let them swing around. Press palms into each other and try to lift your chest up to your thumbs. Last breath here. Hold on to your twist. Look down. And as you squeeze your knees together, the right heel lifts up towards your sitting bones. You can stay here, or you can start to extend the leg back. Take one more breath. And then however you need to, land your right foot at the back of the mat. Inhale, high lunge, arms go up. And then exhale, step open to your warrior two. Think about a 90-degree bend through your front leg, so the knee stays above the ankle. The sides of the body are lifting up and out of the hips, nice and solid here. And then the arms are stretching away from each other. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten that left leg. And start to lean forwards. So the aim is to keep the left side of the body parallel to the ground as you tilt into Trikonasana. Knit those lower ribs down, rotate the chest open. Try to maintain some kind of length through the base of the spine. 1 more breath, inhale. Exhale, half moon. Look down at the ground. See where you're headed as you shift your weight into left hand and foot. Right leg lifts up, kicks back. And as you push down into that bottom foot, you can start to open up the front of the body a little bit more. Feel free to play around with variations if they're in your practice. Take 1 more breath in. And then smoothly, without a sound, land back in your warrior two. Once you're there, reverse left arm up to the ceiling. So don't let the legs move around. You're just working on extending that left side of the body up, and then maybe slightly leaning back. Take 1 more breath, inhale. Extended side angle. Bring your forearm to your thigh to begin with. Push the leg away and reach that right arm forwards. So create that extension through the sides of the body, rolling the hips down slightly. Either stay here, or try to place left fingertips to the mat. If you went for that final option, right arm behind you, left arm underneath the leg to bind. Make sure that you can still breathe, whatever option you've chosen to take. Last breath in. Exhale, everyone place your hands to the ground and step your right foot forwards. Again, feet hip distance apart. Start with the knees slightly bent and then slide your hands underneath the soles of the feet. Step onto your palms, inhale, chest up. Exhale, fold forwards. So completely let the head and neck go. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. And then if you can, maybe slowly straighten those knees a little bit more. Last breath. And slide your hands out. And then stand up. Once you're up, right foot steps about halfway out behind you for a pyramid. Left hand on your lower back and then a right arm up towards the ceiling. So already from here, you can get those legs in a nice solid position, feet pushing down, thigh muscles rolling in, and sit bones pulling back. And then you isolate the upper part of the body as you lean forwards. Try to find that full extension, reaching straight out ahead. And then see if you can keep that motion going forwards as you place your hand onto your shin. And then just start to sweep the chest over towards the left side. So you're not veering around the corner. And then eventually the left arm goes up towards the ceiling. 2 more breaths. Last one. Place your hands onto the ground, a little further out in front of you to start. Tip your weight forwards and start to lift the right leg up to the ceiling. Either stay there, leaning over that left foot, or maybe you try to catch a hold of your leg and keep stretching the right one up a little bit higher to the ceiling. Take 1 more breath in. And with control, land your right foot at the back of the mat for Warrior 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, interlace fingers behind your lower back. Take 1 breath to straighten that left leg. And then exhale as you bend your knee, fold forwards, humble warrior. Couple more breaths here. On your next exhale, place your right hand down onto the mat underneath your shoulder. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, and then as you push the ground away, you sneak that left leg back. And remember your options if you want to drop the bottom knee, if you want to stay where you are, or if you want to try lifting up that top leg. Take another breath, inhale. Exhale, come back to your high plank. Control these transitions. And then chaturanga or any modified version. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, big sigh out. Yeah, drop down onto your hands and your knees for a moment. So start to bend the elbows straight back. You're bending them towards the legs and placing them down on the ground. Once you're here, make sure that you push the mat away, so you should feel the upper back slightly curving forwards. Tuck your toes under and keep pushing the ground away as you try to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So if you're quite new to this, the legs might not be completely straight, that's okay. You can just stay here, or you can gently begin to walk the feet in a little bit closer to your elbows. Keep pushing the ground away and see if you can rise up onto your toes. Just work on building up strength for now. So lifting up as high as you can onto your toes, leaning into your hands. Last breath. And then just walk the feet back, drop down onto your knees, and sit up. Let the shoulders relax. Just briefly drop your right ear over to your shoulder. Extend the left hand down onto a diagonal. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And hand onto your knee, roll your chin down to your chest. And then lift the head up. Let's do that to the other side. Left ear over to your shoulder. Right arm extends out on a slight diagonal. Shoulders are still pressing down the back. Last breath in. Hand onto your knee, roll your chin down to your chest. And then inhale, bring the head back up. From here, make your way up into downward facing dog. Just allow the head to hang heavy. So that strength that you found when you had your forearms on the ground, try to maintain it in your down dog. So still pushing the mat away, keeping that space across the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, weight into your hands. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. One more time, inhale, leg up. And then step your right foot forwards. High lunge, so keep pressing into the ball of the back foot. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Exhale, hands together in prayer in front of your chest. Next inhale, stand on your right foot. Bring your left knee up in front of you. Exhale, warrior three. Tip your body forwards and reach that left leg back. Inhale, pause. Exhale, land left foot at the back into your lunge. Keep this steady again. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale to pause. Exhale, land in your lunge. One more time. Inhale, bring your left knee up. Exhale, warrior three. And hold your warrior three this time. Hug your outer hips in. Keep those hips level to each other. Try to telescope sides of the body forwards. And reach your arms straight out in front of you. And then from here, bring your left fingertips down onto the ground. Keep extending that right arm forwards. You're welcome to stay here. Or try to sweep the right arm open towards the ceiling. Again, either stay here or take it one step further. Bend your back leg and try to catch your foot in a bind. Once you're there, over time, you'll be able to kick the foot up towards the ceiling. Last breath. You're going to release it, both hands to the ground, and then land that left foot all the way at the back of the mat. You're going to drop your knee down to the ground. We're going to set up for a lizard's lunge. So just step your right foot out towards the edge, slightly wider lunge, and let that back hip sink down nice and low. Press up onto your fingertips, bring your chest up. Exhale, you might want to just stay here, or if it's in your practice, drop down onto your elbows. Feel free to close the eyes. Two more breaths. One more breath. And just walk the hands so they're underneath your shoulders. Get ready to straighten your back leg. So if it feels like it's a little bit too far away from you, just shuffle the knee in a touch closer. Now you can straighten up that leg. Push down with your hands. Keep your right knee close to your shoulder and see if you can peel the foot off the mat. Hold here for one more breath. And then send that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Just give it a little bit of a shake. Move it around. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's just reset with a vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, either chaturanga or any modified option. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Keep those arms nice and strong. Inhale, left leg goes up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, weight into your hands. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose. One more time, inhale, leg up. Exhale, step that left foot forwards. And press through the feet, stand up, high lunge, breathe in. Exhale, hands together in prayer. So use your breath to help you through this next sequence. As you inhale, right knee comes up in front of you. Exhale, warrior three. Try not to rush it. Inhale, pause. Exhale, softly land into your lunge. Again, inhale, right knee up. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, pause. Exhale, land in your lunge. One more time, inhale, right knee up. Exhale, warrior three. Hold your warrior three. So like magnets between your inner thigh muscles pulling in towards each other. Telescope sides of the body forwards. Have a go at extending both arms out in front of you. And then keep those limbs reaching in opposite directions. Right fingertips come down to the ground. Either keep that stretch here or start to lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Those of you who want to go one step further, bend your back leg. Try to catch a hold of your foot. And then gently start to kick the foot up. Last breath, inhale. Release the leg, both hands down to the ground. And then land that right foot all the way at the back of the mat. Walk the left leg a little further out to the side, and then you can sink your back knee down. So I often describe this a bit like that right leg, the tail dragging out behind you. Press up onto your fingertips, see if you can open up the front of the body to begin with. If it's enough on your hips and your legs, stay here, or perhaps you drop down onto your elbows. Check in with the quality of your breath. So whenever you have postures like these, to be still for a few moments, use this time to return to that rhythm, to return to that sense of control and calm. One more breath in. Exhale. And walk your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. Slide the back leg a little bit closer and then straighten your knee. So think of this essentially as a plank position, but your left foot is lifting up. So knee squeezing around the upper arm, push down with your hands and then start to peel the foot up. Take one more breath and then send that left leg all the way up towards the ceiling and just move it around, give it a little bit of a shake. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take another vinyasa to reset. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, any variation here. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. In your own time, walk your feet forwards, stepping them about as wide as the mat. Taking Malasana seated squat, have your feet at a slight angle out to the sides and bend your knees. You're welcome to just take this about halfway down and rest your arms and your legs. If hips and knees feel okay, you can try to sit the hips all the way down, hands together in prayer, and then gently press the knees open with your elbows. As you do that, you want to start to lift up through the front of the body. For anyone who's in the halfway variation, you can keep lengthening the base of the spine, chest forwards and up. You have the option to stay in a squat, any version that you're in. If you want to work on your Bakasana, your crow pose, bring your hands down to the ground. Have your feet somewhere behind your wrists. Bend your elbows. So think of that forearm stand we did earlier. Lift up your heels, knees against your upper arms, and then really rest the shins on your arms as you begin to tip forwards. Hips are going to lift up. Pull your belly button in. Over time, you'll lift up one foot, and then over time, you'll lift up both feet. Take another 2 breaths. One more breath. Everyone, step yourself back to a high plank position. And then this time you're going to lower all the way down to the ground. So maybe drop the knees first, bend the elbows and lie on your front. And let's take Sphinx pose. Prop yourself up onto your elbows. Arms are roughly shoulder width apart, so make sure this is fairly comfortable. Keep the legs active. They're pushing down into the mat. Slide your upper body forwards, bring your chest a bit higher. And feel as though your shoulders are opening out to the sides. And then hugging together at the back of the body. Chin down to your chest. Let's take another 2 breaths. One more breath in. And exhale, lower yourself onto the ground. Hands underneath your shoulders. And then press up into a tabletop position. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Gently shake the head a few times, yes and no. Shrug shoulders away from your neck and your ears. Take a big sigh out. And lift your heels up. Look towards your hands. And if you want to try it here, take a little hop to sit down. Otherwise, just find any way to sit down that you can. I'm going to take Janu Shirshasana, one-legged forward fold. Start with the right leg extended straight out in front of you. And let your left knee drop open. So make sure this leg stays active. Heel presses forwards, toes lift up. Reach your arms to the ceiling. And exhale, begin to fold. Some of you might catch the foot, some of you might just catch the shin. If anyone needs it, you can always bend the knee slightly here. So whatever option you're in, feel like you're extending the sides of the body forwards, and then exhale, just allow yourself to release down. So balancing out that effort and ease. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And inhale, sit up. Keep the shape of the legs and place that left hand on the ground behind you. From here, you're going to push up onto your left shin and knee. Get the hips up. Take a nice big yawn through the right side of the body, stretching open. 1 more breath here. And then exhale, sit your hips back down. Keep this leg stretched out in front. And hug that left knee in towards you. Cross your hands over the top of the left foot. And try to make a 90-degree angle with that leg. So the knee is still fairly close to your body. Dig your sitting bones into the ground. Try to sit up. If you're able to, have a go at extending the leg all the way up towards the ceiling. So for this next bit, it's more about engaging those inner thigh muscles and those abdominals. Switch them on. Keep the left leg where it is. And try to bring your arms forwards. 1 more breath in. Try to sit up taller as you lower the left leg all the way down to the ground. Keep that left leg long, and now bend the right leg in. Set up your seat, arms up to the ceiling, and exhale, begin to fold forwards. Again, whatever you can reach. One side might be quite different to the other. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale, roll yourself up. Place the right hand on the ground behind you. Press up onto your right knee. Hips lift. And then just stretch that left arm back in any way that feels comfortable. Last breath. And exhale, slowly sit your hips back down. And keep that left leg just as long, just as active, and hug your right knee up into your chest. Once you're there, cross your hands over the top of the foot. So before you try to straighten the leg, just make sure that the back of the body is nice and long, slightly rolling the pelvis forwards, and then see where that leg gets to. Maybe 90 degrees to start with, and then have a go at extending it up a little bit further. Think about squeezing inner thigh muscles in, switching your abdominals on, keep the leg where it is, let it go. Try not to bring too much tension into the neck and the face. 1 more inhale. Sit up taller as you lower the leg all the way down to the ground. And just give them a little bit of a shake. And then slide a bit closer up to the front of your mat. And feet flat on the ground, hold on to your shins. Navel to spine, curving through the back of the body. Let go of your legs and then lower with control. Once you touch down onto the ground, arms flat by your sides, walk your heels into your fingertips. You can let the head rest on the mat. Press into your palms and your feet. Slightly tuck your tailbone under, and then start to peel the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Bridge pose. So you want to keep that sense of magnetizing the insides of the legs towards one another. Press down with your hands to help get the hips up higher. And then eventually you can shuffle arms closer together, interlock fingers, and stretch your knuckles towards your feet. Take another 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Let go of your hands, slowly roll down onto your back. And just gently windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. If you feel like you've had enough, just keep your back on the ground and close your eyes. If you want to take 1 more back bend, arms beside you, peel the hips up towards the ceiling. And if anyone has wheel in their practice, you can place your hands by your ears and then lift yourself up all the way into wheel. Wherever you get to, we're going to take another 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. Exhale, slowly lower yourself down to the ground. When you land, everyone hug your knees in towards your chest. Take a little rock from side to side. Keep your right knee in and replace the left foot down onto the ground. Inhale, stretch that right leg up towards the ceiling. Reclined half pigeon. So right ankle is going to cross over the left leg, like a figure 4 shape. If it's enough, simply stay here, or go ahead and hug that left leg in towards your body. Close your eyes. Try to keep your tailbone lengthening down towards the mat. If you wanted to make this a little bit more intense, you can create a bit of resistance between your ankle and leg, so slightly pressing against each other. Steady rhythm with your breath. One more inhale. Exhale. Keep the shape of your legs. Just replace that left foot on the mat. Completely cross the right leg over, so knee on top of the other. Open your arms out to the sides, and then let your knees fall over to the left. Supine twist. So don't try to force this position too much. Just see where the body lands. Imagine you could direct your breath into your lower back. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Uncross your legs. So right foot is going to stay flat now. Extend left leg up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. And cross that left ankle over the right knee. So figure 4 shape. Maybe on this side you want to stay here, or go ahead and hug the right one in. See how quickly and efficiently you drop into that calm, steady breath. You drop into that single point of focus. One more breath here. Just replace that right foot on the ground. And then when you get there, cross the left knee over. Let your legs fall over towards the right side. And just open your arms out. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. Last breath in. And just come back towards center. Uncross the legs. Bring both knees into your chest one more time. Just curl your head up towards the legs, stretching out the back of the neck. And then exhale, replace the head onto the ground. And slowly extend the legs away from you, about as wide as the mat. Drop your arms by your sides, palms turn to face up. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a deep breath in. And open your mouth, let it go. So just a few moments to lie here, to be perfectly still. I'll bring you out of it when time's up. You can begin to let go of your efforts. You can let go of any control you had over your breath. Just allow it to return to normal. Gradually allow your breath to flow a little bit deeper. Just noticing the subtle rise and fall of your chest, of your belly. Now the ribs open and deflate. As that breath becomes a little bit fuller, a little bit stronger, begin to move your fingers, move your toes, maybe circling wrists and ankles a few times. And when you're ready, stretch yourself out. You can reach the arms up. Exhale, hug your knees in towards you. With your eyes still closed, in your own time, in your own way, just come up to a seated position. Similar to how we started. Let the skull balance on top of the spine. Shoulders are relaxed, chest is relaxed. Just feel your sitting bones pressing down to the mat. That steady point of balance that you have. Press your palms together in prayer. Just take these last few moments to acknowledge your efforts. Acknowledge the time and space that you've given to yourself to step onto the mat and practice. And before you go, I just want to leave you with this quote from Hemingway, especially with everything that's been going on, this new way of life that we're adjusting to. Now is no time to think of what you don't have. Think of what you can do with what there is. Bow your forehead down to your fingertips. Namaste. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for trying this out. Hopefully you got something out of it. And hopefully I can see you in a real class soon.